One thing that's really stupid that we can do sometimes is make our jobs seem more complicated than they are. And usually people do this for the sake of clout. They want to look smarter than they might be, and they might want to kind of show themselves off like a pride thing. Look how good I am. Look at the position I've reached. I have to do this. I have to do this, and this is hard. And so, you can't look at this. You can't do this. You wouldn't get it. This is a weird thing that I saw in academia. When I was in high school, I saw this a little bit. Honestly, I felt like this myself for a while because I was in honors classes. I thought that I was above other people. I thought my intellect was something that put me in front of other people. And it took a lot of mistakes on my part to learn that that's not really true. Actually, I was just being a jerk. I was just being a big, I'm not going to swear. I really want to swear, but I was being a bad guy. And there are a lot of people in academia that think this way. They think, because I reached this position, I am qualified to talk about this. And it just happens to be that, maybe you're not. Unless you specialize in something, you might not be qualified to talk about it. A lot of times we have confidence that is not necessarily grounded in truth. And that's not a good place to be at. That is pride, and that will eventually lead to your destruction in one way or another. Today, I wanted to talk about these push-ups because they're actually easier than you think. And most things, when you pull away the fluff, when you get rid of all the filler, it's a lot more cut and dry. It is simpler than it seems. The push-ups I did here, this is not yesterday, but the day before. The push-ups I did, after cutting them up, the clips, after editing them down, getting rid of all the filler video, I'm left with 6 minutes and 250 push-ups. 250 push-ups in 6 minutes is kind of insane. I'll say that. I don't know anyone who could do that, especially not full range of motion. I don't know if there's anyone who could do 250 full range of motion push-ups in 6 minutes. But that's not exactly what I'm claiming to do. So I'm okay with putting this up because I'm just showing off what I did do. And in reality, it took me like an hour, maybe 45 minutes to do these push-ups. It's not actually 6 minutes, right? But if you think about 6 minutes of time under tension, that's where things get interesting, because just a year ago, I was experimenting with planks. I was doing planking every single day, and I maxed out at 11 minutes. I was able to do a 11-minute plank. And that is almost twice as much time under tension as these push-ups, but it's done in only one exercise. One set, one exercise. Almost twice as much time under tension. That's interesting. That goes to show that actually this is not a lot of time under tension. That's not a lot of time to be spent doing push-ups. I'll take it even further. Earlier this year, I did the most squats I've ever done in a row. I did over 1,000 squats in under an hour. Let's think about that. So, over 1,000 squats, whatever. I'm squatting for an hour straight. Let's put it that way. That's 10 times the time under tension. The push-ups here took 6 minutes uninterrupted, right? No breaks. With the breaks, it takes a lot longer, but the squats I did earlier this year had 0 breaks. I was squatting nonstop for almost an hour, that's 10 times more time under tension. And I was able to do it. I don't even think I was like really that sore the next day. That is interesting. That goes to show me that these push-ups are nothing. It's nothing. This is so little, and this is not meant to demean you in any way. This is meant to show that it's just not that much. It's just really not that much. I could do a set of 10 push-ups, no problem. Like any time of day. You could wake me up at the middle of the night, say, do 10 push-ups, of course. Yeah, I could do 10 push-ups. It's not that bad. It's actually not that bad. And now if you're an amateur or like a complete beginner, obviously you wouldn't be able to do this. If you're just new, it'll take you a little longer, but yeah, you could do it. I don't see why not. If you could do 1 push-up, you could do 2 push-ups. If you could do 2 push-ups, you could do 10 push-ups in a little bit more time. Now, okay, it does take more time. It's not super simple, but it's pretty simple. You gain experience, you get better. How much simpler can it really get? You gain experience, you get better. So, if you're new, let's say it takes you 5 minutes to do something, right? You want to do some kind of exercise or something. I don't know, you're doing box squats, right? It takes you 5 minutes to do your set. You do it 10 times, you're 10 times better now. You do it 10 times, you're 10 times more efficient. Your neural pathway has strengthened. Your muscle memory is better. Your movements are now more fluid. Your body's learning throughout the whole process. You do something 10 times, you're now 10 times better. And this is going to be an analogy from yesterday, actually. I made some buckwheat, right? I cooked some buckwheat for dinner. The recipe required to make buckwheat is very simple. You need water, you need sugar, you need a type of oil, which I use butter, and you need your buckwheat, right? 4 ingredients, very simple. The first time I made buckwheat, it probably took me like 5 minutes to get set up because I'd never done it before. Honestly, it might have taken me 10 minutes. It took me a while, right? I had to look up a couple of recipes. I looked up a couple of recipes. That took me a while. And I've been using one ever since then. I've been using the same recipe. Today, yesterday, I used the same buckwheat recipe. It took me like 2 minutes to set myself up. Just because I know what I'm doing now. It's only like the 3rd or 4th time I've made buckwheat, but I figured it out pretty good. Pretty soon I won't even need the freaking recipe, just because that's how things work. You gain experience, you get better. It's very simple. That's one reason I love cooking, is it's so simple. It's super simple. Once you get like the basics of it, like how long am I supposed to cook this? What's this supposed to look like? Once you learn what something is supposed to look like, you're already halfway there. I mean, you're almost done at that point. Because it's really just like look and taste, right? Taste and smell kind of go together. If it looks good, I really hope it tastes good. But, I'm getting off topic here. This is about push-ups and fitness. And it's really not that bad. It's not that bad. I have a neighbor over here who recently, he's been wanting to get into losing weight. I guess not really get into losing weight. He's been looking to lose some weight. And so I told him I'd help him out. And I just trained him last week for the first time. And he did some really simple exercises. Very simple stuff. Box squats, elevated lunges just to stretch out the hips, Jefferson curls. I got him doing all sorts of stuff. And because he's new, he was really sore. He was very, very sore, doing really simple stuff. That just goes to show, like, it doesn't have to be complicated. You could do very simple stuff and get a good workout in. You get a solid workout in. The more simple you can make it, honestly, the better. One thing that I used to do is, this is something I did a long time ago. I used to lift weights and watch YouTube videos at the same time. So I would find a YouTube video by some channel I like, I'd put it up on my iPod, and I would just listen to it while I was lifting weights. And I wouldn't really pay too much attention to my lifting weights, and I wouldn't even pay too much attention to the video. I would just be somewhere in the middle, kind of like ignorant, kind of just trying to avoid the pain that I was experiencing, hiding away from it. And that resulted in some very lackluster gains. It was once I actually removed that from my environment, once I started lifting weights without the distraction, that I got a lot better. I learned a lot more, and my physique, it tremendously improved after doing that. And still, sometimes I'd listen to music, sometimes I'd listen to a podcast, and I'll admit, even now, specifically doing the push-ups, I'll put on a podcast. I'll find a podcast, I'll listen to it while I do the push-ups, and that just makes it nice and simple. But if you're, lifting weights and you're following a program and, all this stuff, it could get to be a bit much. And actually, getting back into push-ups lately has been kind of a godsend to me because, it is so much mental energy to write your own program and constantly be making adjustments and seeing like, what am I going to do tomorrow? How much am I going to lift? Do I need to make some adjustments today? It was kind of hard. What should I do next week? How can I make these adjustments? I got to deload, blah, 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 all this stuff, which I love it. One part of me loves it. Another part is like, hey, after 12 weeks of this program, I could use a break. I'm just going to drop down, do a couple hundred push-ups, and I'm good. And that's been really nice. Honestly, that's been super nice. Even though it can be, there are trade-offs. It's also kind of mentally stressful to know, hey, I'm in for 30 sets of push-ups today. That's also not super easy, but there are trade-offs, and this is more simple. I like it for now. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm having fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you for watching, and I want to remind you that it's really not as hard as you think. It's actually easier than you think, and keeping things simple will really free your mind from a lot of the burden. So that's what I got to say. I did 566 push-ups here. Adding that to my 48,589 brings me up to 49,155 push-ups completed so far. Click that link below to work one-on-one with me and get in the best shape of your life. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.